Well, build my gallows and build them high. Makes a long time climbing before I die. I want the chance.
Hello everybody, welcome to Longbangers in association with Leaf Spirits. I'm Mike.
Hiya, I'm Colin. Hello, I'm John.
I'm Colin, back for holiday. You had a nice wee break, mate?
Aye, really good, really good. You're listening in, obviously, just to keep myself abreast of the goings on. Not seen a minute of the League Cup at all, not watched any of it.
None of it at all?
Nah, so I'm feeling refreshed. Never watched. I was away, and obviously the games weren't really accessible, like Premier Sports Player or something. It wasn't even like Premier Sports where I could log on and get on the iPad. Well, maybe I could have a ticket, but it seemed too hard. And then yesterday I was full day busy at HTC, so didn't see a minute of that either. So I'm in a great position to be on this. So I think
you're driving tonight, are you?
We're driving by.
You're asking the questions.
Being away on holiday was the Strictly scandal. You seen that?
Oh, with the bullying in there.
Aye, it's fucking unbelievable.
I think like they're a bit. I think if they're overborn, if you think it's pretty much how we operate in between episodes, isn't it? So I mean, like, let's call it output without fucking breaking a few eggs.
Spitting in my face and that.
That's it. Like, I mean, these are now highly drilled, highly professional podcast. I mean, Colin, you're so good you didn't even have to watch the fucking games. And you covered it, right? Now, that does not happen by accident. We've got used to a process.
I come on and boast about not seeing the game that I'm just talking about. That's good. But that's because I've got a chaperone sitting in the corner there just to make sure everything's all right, just like we're Strictly about today. Which I think's fucking absolutely outstanding. Like, grown adults, you've got to do some dancing and they need somebody to sit in the room and go, no, did he spit at her? Fucking hell.
They spit at her.
Did he go over her face because she got the step wrong? I mean, I'm fucking hell.
Check the chaperone will be their spouses though, because that seems to be the thing as they go on and you can sort of kiss goodbye your relationship as soon as you go in that.
It's like going there to get right.
Aye. I've no been as up to date. I think I don't know if you guys have been flipping about like spitting in folks' faces and handlers and chaperones.
I don't know the detail, but I just saw the headlines about it. I've no idea ins and outs.
This series, they're going ahead with it, which I thought brilliant. Maybe I cancel it. Right? I used to when the girls were wee, we used to watch it and that. But now it doesn't get watched anymore, and it's just a hang that's on. But that's what there's been bullying allegations. There's been like it was the big one that brought out was Martin Freeman's ex-wife, Tim for the Office, his ex-wife. She's just like, just got Caristor. No, the other one, but and she's brought out, and other ones have came out and went, I spat at me as well. Kind of like bite me, fucking kick me up the arse on that. You've done the step wrong. Fucking double stamping on folks' feet and that. And so what Strictly's answer is, you're sacked. And what we're going to do, put somebody in the room means you're training. Like, there's been a camera there the whole time. That's who you've got the evidence here. Now you've got to put a person in the room. You've got to pay somebody else to sit there and go, no. Like,
why do they pay the cameraman or camera person? Just like, why have they not thought of that?
Yeah. Aye. Anyway, well, we got to talk about the game.
Aye, I did not expect that to be the...
I kind of want to delve into Strictly a wee bit.
Like, how does all this tie in? We're not good, because before...
One more question.
Thank you, your audience, John.
We're going to get criticised for that.
Right, okay, move on.
One question, I'll allow it.
One question. How did the bullying allegations tie in with the so-called Strictly curse? Because you could maybe argue that there's someone out there that likes getting spat in the face.
Well, they're the ones that have not complained.
Aye, they've put up it.
And I'm no king shaming, just curious. That's all.
It's going to be called very Strictly for everyone, isn't it? Like Right, Colin, go get us talking about the Hibs, please.
Oh, I thought you were going to ask John a question, like, see how he was at that.
Nah, that's fine. We've wasted too long. We're already with 15 minutes into the episode. Sorry, John. I do care, but just not enough to bore the listeners.
He's raging. I'm going to get in between episodes. Like, you can just tell he's going to bully me. Right. So I wasn't at the game. League Cup group's been a success so far. What did you get the lineup yesterday? So Peterhead, what was the back to full strength, were we?
I couldn't tell. I'll be honest, I couldn't. I was doing my damnedest to try and remember what the lineup for the previous game was at Easter Road. Obviously, I'd missed the Celtic game because I was golfing for my mate's birthday. But Mariah Welsh was back in the squad. Was he in the Celtic squad, Matty?
He was in the squad on the bench. He came on as a sub. So really,
who did he replace? That was what I was trying to get.
The two midfielders that started against Celtic were Levitt and Amos, and New and Mariah Welsh came back. And so we were pretty much full strength. So we had Bursic in goals, Obita and Miller at left and right back, O'Hara and Ekpateta saved my life as the centre halves. New Mariah Welsh and Campbell in midfield, and then Boyle, Venti and Molotnikov as the sort of the front three. Which I think, other than Ellie Ewan and Chris Cadden, is our strongest 11. I think that's how Gray sees it as well. I'd be surprised if there's much change for that next Sunday.
Cadden was training yesterday. HTC. Cadden, Doyle Hayes, Kenna, Del Ferry. I think there was a couple of others I couldn't quite make out who they were. They were doing a proper full running session on the grass yesterday at HTC in the morning.
It's hard to recognise some of them anyway. Never seen half of them.
I was far away as well, but I could tell it was Cadden and that, so I thought, well, it's good if he's running and stuff again.
Yeah.
We'll be far away, hopefully. So I pretty much full strength teams. That what I think our full first choice team would be for next week, more or less. What was the sort of highlights then in the first half, Matthew? Got the goal, I think, did we?
We scored 5 minutes in, a bit of a fortuitous goal. Miller's crossed it and he's just gone into the back post. But other than that, I'll summarise, John. You can give a bit more detail than this. But effectively, we never ever went in any trouble, but we were pretty passionate that first half. That's how I saw it. It was pretty crappy stuff.
That's negative. What about the positive view?
Well, we were never in trouble. That's how I say. Like, we were comfortable with it being good. That's how I say it. Like, the second half was good. I'm quite happy. Like, probably the second half and all the good stuff that happened there. But first half, you go to the end of the half, and I was like, I was expecting there.
First half was a bit dry. Like, it started positively, like Matthew said. I actually suggested to Jeff Ashton, who was sitting next to me, it wasn't a bad cross, and then it's just snuck in past everyone. But the way that Peterhead lined up, I think they were pretty much a 5-4-1. So I was curious to see how Hibs were going to get on, because it's something that we struggled against in the past, like because of let's call it anxiety for the stands or impatience for the stands. But I never heard much of that yesterday. And Hibs, I wouldn't necessarily say they struggled. It was just it turned into a really scrappy war of attrition in the first half. But second half, I think with the chat that was coming through about Queen's Park being 3-0 up, Hibs maybe not making it on goal difference.
Ask about that. Yeah,
I think there'd been a bit of a conversation about half time about how they were going to need to progress the game, and I think they just basically kept going at Peterhead, and I think the stats kind of play that out, because I think there was 29 shots total, 9 on target, 4 goals in the end. So we were patient and we just kept going after it. And I think stamina, if nothing else, won in the end.
Peterhead had no shots, not even any target, none. Yeah.
We're up the pace in the second half, and David Gray talked about it after the game. We spoke to the players and said that you can't keep missing chances, but you also need to play at a higher tempo. The first half felt like a training game. Like we were totally in control, and I think there's sometimes that impacts players. Do you know when it's like there's no jeopardy there? Like you can kind of just go. I think it was a downfall last Saturday when we played Celtic. Is they didn't think that we were in any danger of losing, and obviously it backfired on us. And I did expect to see more of a reaction first half than we saw on the back of last week's result. But second half came when they did what they did against Queen's Park and against Elgin in the last couple of games, and just turned it on, put them away. That was it.
And do you think the sort of the jeopardy, if you would call it that, to use your words there, was created at half time by going, by the way, we're only one goal ahead, or whether it was a goal difference. So actually there was jeopardy, because if they start scoring goals, we're out.
I hope they realised it.
They got through, didn't they?
I think both teams have got through it. But you watch up the group. So I think we still hope to have had an outside chance of maybe being seeded, and obviously we'll talk about that in a wee bit.
Yeah.
But I think just to give Gray his due, he never spoke about the Queen's Park result when he was talking about what he said at half time. It was about what we did and about needing to be better as Hibs rather than better as Hibs worrying about what another team is doing. And I think that's kind of where I would like to see us, is sort of insisting on those standards no matter what's happening elsewhere.
Yeah. So it was only 1-0 at half time, but lots of missed chances. Was that the story of the first half? Is that a fair summary, or?
I don't know why, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't really remember much in the way of like gilt-edged chances. Like I thought the ones that present themselves were a wee bit tricky. I seem to remember Venti had one where he was trying to get the better of the defender, but when he finally got his shot away, he kind of scuffed it a wee bit.
Yeah, he should have scored that, Venti.
But
I don't remember many others in the first half.
Those games are dull as fuck, really, when it is a lower league team that are coming to try and no get a hose in, and it's just hard for the players to get more.
But that's here as well. Do you know what I mean? Like there's two men in a dug and a handful of seagulls, and I guess I can get why it would be hard to get up for that sort of game at this time of year as a player. And that's why I think, like, when you talk about looking for positives, like, be positive about the attitude and application in the second half to get the result and kind of be really comfortable. That's a good thing. I didn't really have any complaints about the overall performance.
I bet the worry for me, is at this time of the year, it's hard to get up for it. And people say we shouldn't have to get up for it, but actually, most of these guys know their first pick, right? They've not got much competition. We've seen that last week. I didn't see it, like, as we know, but I've seen the result and I've seen the follow of it. That we tried some changes and they're not good enough. So, like, this first 11, or plus a couple of the injuries that we've mentioned there, that's the guys that he's going to have to rely on until he signs others, because the other ones didn't cut it. So actually, they all know that at the back of their mind, that there's no jeopardy for them and that I'm getting dropped if they play well. So it is harder for them to get up subconsciously, not get up for it. It might be. I don't know. I don't know any rumours. I'm not saying anymore. Right.
What's the metaphorical Hibs Viagra? Is it more boys? More boys through the door.
But you get my point. A lot of these guys, that first 11, give or take, Ewan, Cadden, there's no many more, I don't think, are going to. If everybody's fit, that's who's playing most of the games.
And it's a problem, particularly for the number 9 position, Venti. Venti needs somebody to breathe in his neck to kind of put a bit of pressure on him, maybe be performing, because he's got potential. I think we're yet to see it, and the more you didn't see potential, the more you sort of say, well, maybe there isn't that potential, and he's just not up to it. But I think definitely knowing that his nearest competition is either a winger playing out of position or Harry McCurdy, who we've seen kind of get so far a couple of games back to back. Venti's laughing, like he's going to play no matter what.
Yeah, and that's just it's not going to be a deliberate thing. It's just going to be subconsciously. You've not got that pressure on you, drives you on. So, so the first half, bit dull, 1-0, a few missed chances. Second half a little better. Got 3 goals. Molotnikov got another one. And then draw out John the second half.
Good question.
Miller top scorer now, is he?
Miller was on a perfect hat-trick, and I was urging him to go up for every single corner, just put him up front and swing crosses in the box, because there's not many opportunities, I think, for a right back to find themselves in that position. I thought, like I said, I thought we were good. I thought like Matt said, like, and to be fair, like, I've not watched any of the interviews about what managers or anyone else has said at half time. But we definitely upped the pace, and we just kept going at them until they. Well, I think we got the goals before they tired, but I think as you got closer to the end of the game, that was where the greater spaces developed. I thought what you had before that was, because they were pretty much a 5-4-1 and camped in their own half pretty much most of the time, I think when we definitely created a lot of chances. There was a lot of balls across the box, a lot of balls in from Miller, a lot of balls in from a beater, and quite often they were kind of skidding across the 6-yard box. But I think because the Peterhead team were so deep in their half, it was really difficult for the Hibs team to find the spaces to get on the end of it.
Wow.
But actually, probably the highlight, I think, for me was, in fact, the two of them. I think Miller's 2 goals were, they were good for him. The first one was a bit fortuitous. The second one, I think, is taking a wee bit of deflection when it falls to him and he gets his shot away. But if you watch the video back of the third one, the interlink play between Miller, I think it was Campbell to Boyle. If you watch it, Campbell plays the ball and he's immediately heading into the box to try and get on the end of it. And the camera angle really allows for the view of Boyle looking up, picking a pass and just playing into the space that McCall's run into. And I'm not going to say it's a scrappy finish. You'd like it to be just kind of run in, smash it into the back of the net and kind of go off and, celebrate. But I think he's had a tumble or whatever. And the fourth goal, your pal Tavares heavily involved and maybe over-egging it a wee bit, but he's delayed his run a little bit to play in a beer who's swung on a ball into the middle of the box. And it was just a lovely on-the-volley finish for Mariah Welsh that was deserved as well because he was man of the match, albeit I think a stricter referee might have sent him off because he had a bit of a wild challenge. I can't remember if it was first half or beginning of the second.
I think it was the second half. I thought yellow was right. I've seen Reds give him for it. I thought yellow was right. He was terrific.
Yeah, watch
Mariah Welsh.
That, because he may start getting a reputation if he starts to really celebrate like that.
Tell you maybe the difference when he came on was Levitt as well. Levitt was I found really frustrating against Celtic last week, but I thought he was good when he came on. He's always sort of looking to play that forward pass, the kind of the Scott Allen through ball, sort of between the defenders, or the wee ball over the top. That's all level out. They just had a honking free kick, but that happens sometimes, doesn't it? But Basil Levitt and Mariah Welsh and Molotnikov were probably the standouts for me.
Maybe just try to prove that guy wrong. You were speaking about last week that effectively whispered in his ear that he was shite. Yeah. That's incredible. I couldn't believe that. Well, I could believe it. I was listening to it and I thought, how close you are to the pitch, and you're just it's just beats me. Right, that's enough about the game then. So we're through. Will we talk about the next round, or do you want to do talking points before? What would be your preference?
Let's talk about the draw and then do the talking points.
So we got through unseeded because of effectively the loss to Celtic.
Can I ask? I'm ignorant and
I know.
I'm confused. So we won the group, but we weren't seeded. Are we not seeded because we didn't get enough points, or is there some sort of coefficient that takes place?
Let me explain it to you.
Best three group winners get seeded, don't they?
So there's 5 European teams. They're seeded automatically. And then it's the best 3 group winners, and because those 3 teams, Ross County, Aberdeen, and another one, won all 4 games.
Right.
So they've got 12 points. So you needed to win all 4, and then it would have been a goal difference presumably after that, which we would have been in a good place for as well if we had won all 4 games. But yeah, we blew it by losing to Celtic. They seeded, which I suppose it's all about getting through in the first place. But then when you see the draw we ended up with. However, can I just say, right, so the seeding thing seems a bit, and I know it happens every year, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not just saying it because we've landed on the shite end of it this year by getting number 1 seeds away as well. But the seeding's mental. But not just that. The 5 European teams, right? 3 of them haven't even played fucking Europe yet. And 2 of them have only played 1 game. So why are they not just sitting?
Is it not just to give them the best chance? Was this not one of the sort of the things with bringing the League Cup forward? Mind, it used to be later. You go back to when we won as the Skull Cup, and the final was in October. And then they changed it and they had to
March when Rob Jones won.
When we won it in 2007, and then they moved it back again. And I think one of the compromises was that they would take the European teams out to give Scottish clubs a better chance of going further in Europe, that they weren't having to worry so much about this competition, which is also why they seed them, so that they're not going, fuck, we've got whichever European team on a Wednesday or Thursday night, and then the weekend we were Rangers in the cup.
But any of them have only won. 2 teams have played 1 game on Thursday night. That's it. The rest haven't played a game yet. So they've been picking up bounce games against Fleetwood or touring America or wherever. Right, so actually, they've been as well just.
They could have been in it as well. Aye.
It does seem maybe we used to enter the European a bit earlier. Maybe that's another thing because your coefficient was good for a while, but it's obviously dropping again. But I don't know. I'm just looking at going, they've been fucking played yet. So anyway, and then the seeding happens after that, and now we've ended up with Celtic away. So what's your thoughts on that, then, Matthew? You happy with that draw?
Nah, not happy at all. I think so. There's a couple of right. The game's not been played yet, and they might win, which is the first thing. Because if you look at the action, I think 90% of folk, if not higher, have gone, well, that's us, we're fucked and out the cup, which was probably my first reaction. I saw the draw and was like, fuck's sake. But then you go, well, it's a cup game. St Mirren, I think, St Mirren or Kilmarnock put Celtic out last season.
It did Kilmarnock at Kilmarnock, though.
At Kilmarnock, but it's still possible, right? But it's no a foregone conclusion that we're out of the cup. But Hibs bank on semi-final runs is what they budget against. We're already like in the shit with
against that, yeah.
With money. It appears. Other John on the phone made a good point the other night. Hibs spending about 200 grand a week on wages. And I went and had a look to see where did that figure come from, and had a look at the accounts that were presented back at the AGM in February. It was 10.1 million was the staff costs for that year, which is about 200 grand a week, right, if you break it down. So if your turnover's fucked, then we're in bother because you're burning through £1 million every 5 weeks.
Yeah.
It's not a good position to be in. Last year we never got, and this is the folly, like a shit recruitment setup, like how bad the recruitment's been over the years, no hiring the right managers and no taking action at the right time, is that we've got bottoms. You feel the impact for finishing bottom 6 last season, so you miss out on the prize money for top 6, but then you miss out even more prize money for going into Europe, which runs into millions of quid, which would have, you could almost like put another 3 or 4 million onto your wage bill if you've got the turnover to support it. Because we didn't have that, and then because with Europe, you go into these fucking group stages, and then we choose not to play our strongest team against Celtic and lose that game, so we didn't get seeded. And all these like sort of decisions being that this season, the likelihood is we're going to have income from, I think, 2,000 odd fans at Celtic, split the gate there, 4,000 at the Queen's Park game. Could look at what the attendance was yesterday. A couple of thousand against Elgin, and then whatever the game is at Celtic Park, that'll get split as well. But Celtic Park will be packed. It's not going to be like a 60,000. It's going to be like if we had at Easter Road, pretty much. So it's just like that. All these bad things that have happened is it just fucking snowballs, doesn't it? Like, and then we're going to feel the impact in this season and next as well. Yeah, we get a good Scottish Cup run because, or we beat Celtic. Like if we beat Celtic, it would be great. Like it's a double header. We've got to win the league and in the cup. So yeah, we're not got to hold out hopes that we go there and do a job on them.
On paper, it's the hardest job we could have got. Mm-hmm. Number 1 seeds away from home. But John, your thoughts on
it? It's just going to try and approach it positively. I think the draw when it came out, it's like I think you probably summed it up there when you said it's the number 1 seed, like it's the number 1 team in the competition that we've got to beat. But presumably at some point you'd be thinking that you're going to have to play them and beat them anyway. You're just hoping that it would be the final. But I think when
that's I've read that a few times. Somebody saying, well, might have even been before the draw. Folks saying he's Celtic at home or Rangers away or whatever, and because you need to beat them anyway, didn't he? Somebody else can beat them.
That's true, and I think, that's the sort of positive mindset that I'm taking into it, which is if someone else could go and beat them at a later stage of the competition, so that we avoid them, we can beat them now, so that we avoid them in the future.
Yeah, it's doable, isn't it? Like, I mean, that's the thing with the cup. It stands written in stone, yeah, that we're going to go out because we got Celtic at Celtic Park. You go there and give it your best shot, and if the stars align, then we're all right.
It's almost the the illogical result that we've had against us that we're looking for, isn't it? It's like it's the Ross County beating Hibs, it's the Kelly Hearts beating Hibs. We're looking for a day where a set of circumstances and our players are on it where we go ahead and we win. You know, whatever it happens to be, just need to score one more.
There's a couple of there's a lot of stuff against like the size of their budget, their team, number 1 seeds away from home, right? We've won once in the Cup at Peterhead. I read it was since 1902 was when we won it there, right? So that's all against us. On the positive though, it'll probably be like a Saturday tea time kickoff or something, right? None of their fans bother their arse with the League Cup till it was the semi-finals when they want anybody else to get sold tickets. So they'll not really be there. They'll have Champions League to worry about maybe the midweek after it. You know, it'll have that feel of the game about for them what we had yesterday.
It is.
We're a better team than Peterhead. So, you know, I'll have that kickabout feel because the atmosphere's shite. It's Saturday night. It's all that kind of stuff. So I think there's reasons you could use to balance all the negatives.
And it's their lowest priority competition. Like you said, like they'll want to get the Scottish Cup and they want to get the league. Like the league is a non-negotiable for them. They have to win that. The Scottish Cup is probably close to that as well. And then a lot of these as well as they can in the Champions League. If they're going to, I don't think anybody conscious. Well, they do consciously sacrifice it. We've seen that since like Man United started doing it in England. But I don't think they're consciously going to lose the game. But they're definitely not prioritise it as they would if it was a Scottish Cup or a league game, in my opinion.
But it was the last year at this stage, didn't it? So
yeah.
Probably for an accumulation of those things. So hard draw, but not impossible. But we're up against it. We'll be big odds at the bookies, and that is a underdog task. Will we talk about the talking points from yesterday's game?
Yeah, and then we can wrap up with we'll get to St Mirren.
Yeah. Right. Let me see what the first one's wondering what your photo was when you put the boy with the headband on the Peterhead.
Peterhead. Yeah. You can ignore there's one about Hibs will play youth players in there as well. You can ignore that as a Celtic fan. Fucking just
all right.
Like go and have a fucking moan about it. Fuck off. Mind your own fucking business.
Hibs boy 69 even says we need forwards. I think you covered that already. We've got how many strikers have we actually got in the books? Just one.
Depends if you count McCurdy as a striker. But well, O'Connor just went on loan to Dundalk, didn't he? So the thing there's a young player there pushing through. So you got Vente and you got Boyle or Yuan who can play there as well.
Aye, but you're into playing players out of position almost to back up. So you're probably right, Hibs boy. Chris says, would we have taken 14 goals for and 2 against before a ball was kicked? Yes, we would. All the lads know Kelly was a bad day. They are growing in confidence. Let's back them and stop being negative. Who knows? We might get St Mirren at home in the draw. That was before the draw. I mean, 14 goals for, 2 against. Probably would have taken that before the Cup.
It's actually, when you put it like that, it's quite attractive, isn't it? Like, you look on reflection, if you didn't know anything, you'd go, I've scored 14 and conceded 2.
How many games?
4 games.
4 games.
But you see, if you roll in the friendlies, especially, so although we conceded 4, because we play Watford, we scored 3. The Edinburgh City game, the Palk game, we've defended well and we've been scoring goals. It's like the Celtic game is an anomaly, but it doesn't half show you how fragile the optimism is. And the fact that happened, and it was like a fucking ticking time bomb. Like everybody was like, we're still fucking shite. We're finishing bottom 6 and all the rest of it. I don't think, this is what I was saying about being we were disappointed that we never had a really strong reaction first half. So I think if 4-0 was like a really convincing win, 4-0 with them not having a shot on target is really, really convincing on paper. But had we absolutely fucking gubbed them, I think we would have had a bit more of that positivity back again. Kind of exhibiting swings from one end to the other.
See if we'd hammered Kelly as well, though, I think we'd be thinking we're world beaters and we're not. We're talking about a squad here, maybe 14 players that we trust, in inverted commas. And that would have still been the case, even if it beat Kelly 2-0 and went 4 conceded. Brilliant. You know what I mean? We're not. I mean to ask this, kind of touched on it, but see, during the game, John, yesterday, was anybody in the stands going, fuck, Queen's Park might jump us? Or was that not accurate? We mentioned it, but I kind of feel like, was it not really that thing?
I mentioned it towards the start of the podcast, and it was just one person nearby. Actually, I thought the question you were going to ask me was about patience and if anyone was starting to get antsy in the crowd because we were only 1-0 up because of the Queen's Park result elsewhere. But no, I only had one other person, one person mention it.
I maybe I didn't even realise it till about 2 minutes.
Neither did I.
And I went, fuck's sake, Queen's Park's going to go love us.
I don't know whether this. I don't know this is why. Sorry, I don't know if this is where my sort of relaxed and slightly different approach to the game comes from. Like just that complete fucking ignorance. I just thought, well, all we need to do is beat Peterhead and we're through. And I was right. I didn't realise the ramifications of seeding and non-seeding or what have you.
I saw it on Hibs.net, and I thought it must have been a fucking mistake. I've not paid attention to any other scores all the way through, but I was like, look, we took 5 off the Queen's Park, we took 5 for Elgin. We're so comfortable in this game.
So they must have hammered everybody then. I haven't even checked the results.
How the fuck has that happened? Aye, weird, eh?
There's a bit of a theme here. I was just skimming there while you were talking, but Bangers and Mash says Venti just isn't good enough. We can't keep waiting on him coming good. Can't even blame Monty now either. What a complete waste of money. And Jake 1976 says badly need forwards as well. As we all know, thought Boyle and Benny were poor today. Plus points, Levitt and Jair were really good when they came on, and Rudy was good again. Tefano says bit better in the second half, still walking pace. Jair was decent, and then he just says Venti as a question. I don't know, need signings, some decent ones. Not as confident coming out of the group as I'd hoped, but we're in the draw, albeit probably unseeded. Bring on Hearts, nearly. So there is a wee bit of a theme there. Forwards being a bit of a worry, which is funny because we've scored loads of goals.
Aye. But we're missing loads of chances, and that is definitely the issue. So you can get away with it if you're putting 4 and 5 past teams like it at a lower level, but we're not going to get all those chances when we're playing like St Mirren on Sunday. Then I think we'll have 20 odd, I mean, why? But I think we'll have 20 odd shots. Other than those sort of numbers to be as wasteful in front of goal, as you need players to start taking the chances as and when they come. We saw what happened against Celtic when we didn't take them. Like we had tons of chances against Celtic. We take half of them, we beat them by 4. Do you know? And I think it is a problem, despite the number of goals that they scored. Although there is an irony, there isn't like a kind of you're all getting carried away. But I think you need to consider the level that those goals have come against.
But we would have got carried away if it'd be Celtic 4-0 as well. Like that would have been. Anyway, I
was just going to say, like, just to like, I completely take back his point about the number of chances, etc. Like, I think I said at the start, it was it 26? It was 26, and it was 29 shots. 9 of them on target, and we scored 4. So it's like you get a third of them on target, you get half of the ones that you get on target actually win. But then you have like the quality of the opposition, etc. Like, I think we need to be cautious of not looking at St Mirren and going, but we're not going to create that number of chances. Like, we just don't know. Like, we might go into it and we might be fine. Like, we might be great. We might go in. All the questions that have been asked about Benton just now, and his kind of goal shyness, if you like, he might remedy that against St Mirren. Like, we just do not know at this stage. I thought Benny was
against Elgin as well. Like, I mean, it's not like he's no scored at all.
I think I was thinking about this earlier, and I remember, if you remember, way back when we were talking about Hibs up at Aberdeen, where Christian Deutsch has 4 chances and he doesn't score them all, and we got into like the nitty-gritty each of them. I think all of the chances that Venti had yesterday, he was in the right position for them all, but none of them were necessarily perfect. He could have definitely scored. He could have maybe got a little bit of direction, maybe found the corner. One of them, he was away at left, and he's played it left-footed and tried to go for the far corner. I think there's a later one where he goes with his right foot. I remember one run in particular that he made down the channel, and Martin Boyle's gone from right midfield, and he's run all the way across to the other side, so he's trying to take something on his left foot. But in that instance, like, you want to be giving the Venti the opportunity in that instance, because I think one of the things that you've seen for Venti as well, that he's definitely got the ability to score with his head and on both feet. It just hasn't happened in the last 2-3 games. I'm going to say 3 because I don't know whether he played against Kelly or not, if he got any sort of game time.
He did. He missed. Can't recall. I would probably say a set against Celtic, and I think that's the issue, is that he's had a few really, really good chances that he's passed up over the last few games.
But he was also involved, I think, in Miller's goal as well yesterday. So I think we need to maybe, like, as much as we want to see him scoring goals, that would have just added to the 4-0 scoreline yesterday. I think it's important to include his all-round game and considering how he helps the team rather than him just being the guy that scores all the goals. Because I think one of the problems that we had last year and previous seasons is that all the goals were like, so even if you go back to like the Nisbet, Boyle, Deutsch sort of era, like they were the only ones that were scoring goals. We'll get another one for midfield. Now we've got a goal scoring midfield. If we could just get Vente to score goals or another striker, we're in an even better position.
Yeah, that was a complaint I had. Like, nobody else was chipping in at some point, but I do like my striker scoring every now and again as well. And it does seem to be a theme that's coming through here about that, as people worrying about it. The other thing, I've just read a couple there of these were blabbing on. Hibernian Loan Watch and a few others are talking about O'Hora's injury being a worry. And I think I saw that someone else saying it as well. So Pat Fry's Image also mentioned the O'Hora injury. So did that look bad? Or do we think he's going to be out for a while? And
just
David Gates saying
just a contact knock is how it was described after it. So I think they took him off as a precaution, maybe like a wee bit of dead leg seemed to be like at the top of his leg.
I didn't notice anything at the time. It just seemed like the play kind of moved away a wee bit, and he sat down on the turf and kind of signalled to the bench that he was looking for a bit of treatment. So when the physio came on, they were kind of adjusting's maybe the wrong word, kind of like testing the knee joint and what have you. He did a wee lunge on the pitch and then he went off. So I do think it was precautionary rather than anything serious.
It's like he and
2 weeks as usual. Well, hopefully it'll be sooner than that.
He and Ekpiteta saved my life. Have been a very good centre half pairing so far. Like again, no really sort of had a stern test, but I thought they were good against Watford through the week. Very good against Pauk when we played them. So hopefully it's just a minor thing and he's fit for the league campaign starting.
I think Ekpiteta yesterday stood out because O'Hora had gone off, but sorry, not because O'Hora had gone off. Ekpiteta stood out because on the rare occasion that Peterhead got forward, he was just there, swept it up and moved the ball along. I think what I've seen from O'Hora so far is that he's a very quick, very direct centre half. Like he's not just there to kind of like nod the ball away and kind of. I don't think I've actually seen him go to ground yet, other than when he sat down to go to get some treatment. Like he seems to want to start attacks with the back, and I like Dave will probably shoot me down for saying it, but it does remind me of Paul Hanlon and that Neil Lennon team starting attacks.
The best centre halves didn't go to ground as well because the intercept rather than tackle.
Yeah.
IME, I should say, on that one in my experience. Yeah. So Mike Berry says, job done. We do not have the squad to finish above 6th. Christopher Black, too ponderous in possession. Tempo has to be higher. Tempo definitely changed when Levitt and Jair came on. Jeff Ashton, pedestrian first half. Still should have been 2 or 3 up. Seemed to lack the urgency of previous games. Very badly needs a goal to kickstart him. Need to sign an alternate forward or 2. Proper target man. Just saying anybody please. Stuart, we definitely need bodies in the door of some quality. Thought Levitt and Amos looked okay when they came on. Level of opposition might have something to do with that. There's a few things about the Seagulls. A few posts about that. Raymond Gray, we are where we are. There is no false hope or optimism, which means things might turn out surprisingly better than we think. Quicker we accept there's no quick fix, the better. Looking forward to Paisley next week.
See, on that one, so the expectations, and you mentioned it as well, Colin. I thought we'd get, or may have got carried away, but if we'd hammered Celtic and absolutely squished the group, I think that result was a blip, and we did by and large squish the group. But I think folk have been pretty consistent. The squad still seems to me some way off where we were hoping it would be. And if you think back to like extra time that we recorded towards the end of the last season, where we went through the squad, and I think we picked out 7 positions even that we needed to fill, and we filled 3 positions. Like with 4 signings, but 2 of those are goalies and 2 centre halves. So am I missing anybody? We signed anybody since then?
I think so.
That Smith was the last signing. Yeah.
Oh no, Clyde was Smith the third. Is Smith included in your 3?
He's the 4th one. So Bursick on loan, and then the 2 centre halves, and then another goalie. Right. So there's still a lot of work to be done. I think there's still a question mark about whether or not Yuan stays for the season. I know he's like injured at the minute. That Mike Berry, I think they said that we'd struggle to finish top 6. I'm not convinced we've got a top 6 squad as things stand today.
There's a few that's coming through here. I was just skimming down, and that's kind of where it starts going after that. So desperately need strikers, none on the bench coming through to development. Ian Toghill, my thoughts haven't changed. Still think we should have been a half decent team. Malk, 1 injury, and there was only 1 outfield player on the pitch that wasn't there last season. So many players did he haul for 90 minutes. It's a worry. SG got to be a long season. Kaiser Soze, we cannot go to the league season with Venti as our unchallenged number 1 choice striker. Keith McAdam today just shows how much we need a quality striker, and also shows a lack of strength and depth. We don't have any game changers to turn to. El Gordo, Mexicano, not game specific, but need a striker with presence to help Venti. He definitely has the ability up top, but needs someone to take a centre half or 2 out of the equation. Brian Borthwick, number 9 required, as everyone else is saying, till Levitt and Jair made a difference. Liamo Baldrini, very is pish, we need another striker. Adam, lead goal scorers ASAP. Gus Balinski, quality reinforcements needed. Stephen, still honking, to be honest. We've just not got quality of players we so badly lack and need. We've signed 4 players, and league action starts next weekend. Signings between now and then seem very unlikely, poor from the club. So there's loads about strikers, whether it be to the extreme that he's rubbish, which I'm not on board with, to he needs help. But then I don't know if do we play a formation with 2 strikers? Probably not, do we? Unless it goes 3-5-2, I suppose. So is it help he needs? Is it competition he needs? He needs something, because it is still a league opposition we've played in. You would expect a non-form striker, especially when we're scoring 14 goals. They've been scoring a few. He took a hat-trick, Louis said, eh?
Aye, he's got 3 out of the 14.
Everyone gives, yeah. I don't know, it seems to be a real thing, and it might be, obviously I wasn't here last week when you just talked about Foley and all that, but that's brought all, getting beat off of Kelty, and then the conversation about no spending any money. We've brought 4 players and 2 centre halves, 2 strikers, 2 goalies, sorry, and we're not getting anybody for Bournemouth, eh? Like, they've obviously just went, fuck you, till you start listening.
I know, yeah. It's a fact cry for what we were promised. Do you know?
No good.
Oh yeah, I can understand why. Like if we dug in it, John, didn't we? We were speaking about it. We looked at the sort of the financial aspect of it, and you can sort of see why we might be in the position that we're in. But I mean, it's criminal, really, that we're sort of scrabbling around on the face of it. I mean, you imagine if the club have got a few rabbits to pull out the hat, and they're going to, pull off a marquee signing from somewhere to coin a phrase. I just can't see it happening. It's like with we're in a bit of a bad way, which is about, can we talk about Hibs, like something being a Hibs thing to do? That would be a Hibs thing to do, like to get a billionaire in January and be rooked by the fucking summer.
And it's disappointing because we started off by signing players early, and that was good. We all wanted players in, get them in for pre-season, be ready for the league campaign. And I know the window ends in another month's time, but that's a month of the season over with. That's when Johnson got sacked last year, because if you have a bad start, and we're going into the season having just replaced what we needed, not like we've not, but it's like Hanlon left and Fish left, so we've brought somebody in for them, and we've
essentials.
One retired and one left, so we had to have them, and we've signed nothing else. And I can see why folk are getting a bit edgy, especially after the chat. They'll have a couple of million to spend in the summer, fully said, on top of the investment.
Brilliant.
I'm trying not to be negative, but what I was going to say was that I think a conversation that Matt and I had previously was, on the face of it, like, we can look at Hibs and say, right, well, you've not made any signings, so, well, that's shite what you did. But I think, Colin, you maybe mentioned it there, they're maybe doing stuff behind the scenes, or Batty, it was maybe you about pulling rabbits out of hats and whatnot. Like, you've got to imagine that there would be signings to be made between whether it's now and next week or now and the end of the transfer window, because I think the transfer window closes at the end of August.
Yeah.
I think it's like 11:30 on the 30th or the 31st of August. I forget how many days there are in August. But that's obviously no ideal, because that's like you're a month into the league season by that point, and you're probably in 11 conversations every. I always feel like I've got the foresight to say at some point we'll be saying, "Aye, but it'll be fine once he gets a pre-season under his belt."
That's where we get to, isn't it?
But on the assumption that we don't make the adjustments, or we don't make the additions that people are talking about, so additional strikers or game changers, etc., where do we start pointing the finger then? Is it that David Gray needs to coach his existing players better, or is it that the folk behind off the pitch haven't they brought the players in because of previous mismanagement, etc.? Albeit Malky Mackay's come out and said, well, we've kind of fucked it previously without using those words, and you just need to wait.
I would argue he already is coaching the players better, right? Based on the big wins in these games that we've only beaten. Like, when we've had other teams like that come in, we wouldn't beat them like 14 goals in 3 games. You guys say something?
Ask you a question, right? And just the same, what would you do? Right? See, you're Ben Kensel, and you're looking at the team now, and saying, right, it appears to be fairly obvious that the team needs work, right, and still players in. And I'm 100% sure the club are trying to do it. Like, I'm no.
Well, Gray said that in his interview yesterday.
That's it, right? So you know there's work ongoing there, right? And so try not to put the cart before the horse here and make it that everything's all like, oh, we're not going to sign anybody, and this is what we're going to start the season with. Knowing, right, it looks like we've got quite a problem with the budget, and it's going to impact the quality of the team that we've got. Knowing that means we're probably going to have another season where we don't hit the targets that we need to hit in order to have good seasons and increase the budget in that. What do you do if you're Ben Kensel? Do you stick, or do you go, right, we've cut the cloth now and just fucking, that's us, we're just going to be where we are? Or do you roll the dice and speak to Jordan and Foley and that and say, these are going to have to fund something here and just take the debt on again that we've just got rid of it? What would you do?
I have no idea, because I think if you're Ben Kensel in that situation and you go and approach the people whose input isn't being listened to, or the Gordons who've already taken on a serious bit of debt already, they would both be well within the rights to go bolt.
Yeah.
However, if you look at it from the point of view of kind of, I feel like Del Boy here, only fools and horses, like speculate to accumulate, like the investment, like there is money required to sign players. Like that's just football. You're not just picking up. You're not picking up. It's going to be. It would be miraculous if you pick up guys for free who make the contribution to the team that puts us in the league position that Hibs need to benefit. That Hibs need to benefit financially from, which would fund future success.
Aye.
So there needs to be a little bit of, I think, in the scenario thing that you painted there, Matty, I think there needs to be a wee bit of smooth talking.
That build it and they will come.
Yeah.
Type. That's probably what I'm with, John, because like season tickets, I believe, are slightly down on last season, or either slightly down or just above, but we're about 2,000 shy of where the had targeted. This is what I heard. I don't know how true that is, but we're but 2,000 season tickets down. We spoke already about the European income and the league prize money and that all being down. We've not really got any superstar players itching to get sold. I mean, Yuan might go for a couple of million, but if Yuan doesn't, which I think we're banking on, if Yuan doesn't go in this window, then that's a lot of money that we've not got, and then he becomes less valuable after that. I think it's quite bleak for the club for that side of it, because how do you start winning people back around? How do you get folk back in if your team's not good and you're not winning? So
well, that's how you do it. You win games, but how do you win games with the squad that he's got? And he has the defence seems to have improved. So it's actually the players we've signed seem to have, and I know it's against lower league opposition, but Queen's Park's a decent standard, and that seems to have made a difference. But like, it's just stopped, and it's like, it's a bit of it. I just think it's mad, like how we've got ourselves here. Like the conversations we were having in February and March about this investment and the money and doing this and doing that, and because we finished bottom six, it's like fucking fucked. Everything's fucked.
Do you remember the conversation that we had, where I was trying to play devil's advocate, to kind of temper your excitement a wee bit? I never once imagined that there would be a boardroom full of it.
No.
That would be the spanner in the works.
Certainly over 5 months, 5 months down the line.
How did we not consider the expertise though? Like, how did we never think of that? Right.
Do you know what the thing is? All the signs were there. Like, see, if I put a wee post up on Hibs about it. Like, see if you look at the sort of the decisions that this ownership. Right? So, I think probably in fairness, post Ron Gordon's passing, and in a short time before, obviously, when he was too ill to be involved, you've got Brighton, link up, big fanfare, and it never just fell off the radar, but it fell off the radar to the point that our CEO says, I can't see anything about it, and they'll loan somebody to Hearts. Right? I mean, that's how, and Aberdeen, that's how badly that one went. Charleston Battery, remember them? So
development team.
The development team, a partnership with them. I seen Gordon was living there at the time, apparently. There were about half and half scarves in the club shop for that. None coming. A development team that we signed, a full development team, like another squad of players, of which none of them play in the first team. There's like a list of stuff, like you'd go for an up and coming manager with Sean Maloney, and then go, no, we need experience, and then go, no, we need another up and coming manager, and then flip flopping back to.
It was needed 6 months ago. They said they were going to build HTC, an indoor facility, and a place for the women's team, and they just went, fuck that. They say stuff and then didn't do it. That's effectively what the club do. They say stuff, don't follow through.
Direct to the football.
We need a squad direct.
It should not have been a surprise. In hindsight, we should have been get a couple of months. At least we got £6 million if it tied us over for the season. Great. What we're going to do next year?
Yeah, does look like that as a worry. Should say Gaza, last one. I think fans should encourage players that are struggling for form to help them gain confidence. Abuse would turn players off the club, and I think we all agree with that, as much as we've had a wee bit negativity and mood there as well. But it's true. The players that are here, that we should be supporting them while they're here. As much as we might not rate them or something, we should still be backing them, because that's what we've got to fucking deal with. So
I think on that point, I think the patients that I talked about yesterday, like the folk that were at Kelly and were abusing Levitt, and the reaction of the folk that you saw online, I'm guessing that they weren't at the game yesterday, because, as you say, like at half time, it wasn't a foregone conclusion that we were going to qualify, but there were changes made by David Gray, and the changes that were made plus the change in tempo made the difference to the game. So there's a starting 11 there. Like we talked about what is Hibs' strongest 11 at the moment, but the change, like the substitutes that we made yesterday, also made an impact. That's something to be positive about. Albeit definitely, with the caveat that there is, that we do still need some additions there, but there's still guys pulling on a Hibs shirt there that we can support, that we can back.
See, like, do you think bring positive. So you get a bit of positivity around when you've got like guys through the youth system and that in the team. Like we've got one now at the moment. Fuck knows they make Panama on loan. Right? That seems to be some kind of championship manager thing that people need to do, right? But hopefully he gets his chance. See if we just went, you know what, right? We're fucking brass eye. We've got 6 million. We fucking blew it. We've pumped it off on the whatever we've done with it, right?
Famous 5.
Building the famous 5 stands or whatever that we can't sell tickets for. Whatever, right? We've done that. We've got name left. What we're going to do is we're going to try and get top 6 this season. But what we're going to do is we're going to play Megwa, we're going to play Malonikov, we're going to get Eakin back, Airdrie, whatever, right? Aye, McAllister's going to get in the team. Get behind the young laddies and fucking, and they might just turn into O'Connor rather than Thompson, Brown, Whitaker. What else? Because I can't, I didn't even, it's just a throwaway that's just came to me now when we're talking, but we're sitting, and I'm sitting being negative. Matthews is negative as I've heard them in years, and it's almost like Cumming Hearts got relegated. At least they had the young laddies in the team, and then they were ready to come back up.
Aye.
Yep. I talked about that previously. Like it was bad for them at the time, but and as much as they were talking about taking, I don't know if it was the XFA, but they were talking about taking some organisation, some body to the European Court of Human Rights because you can't play the young laddies all the games. It was absolutely like it was fine for them. Like you got what to bear because when they got relegated, us included, they just bounced straight back up because the team were ready. Like they'd already competed at a higher level. So when they went down, it was like, "Aye, that's fine."
There was
and we, no. And we benefited from it to a degree because when we were previously skint, when the TV deal went south and Bobby Williamson was forced to play the likes of O'Connor, etc., and you ended up being a golden generation and whatnot. Like you find yourself in a situation where, well, we've not really got a choice. Like we might find ourselves in that situation again now. And I think, and I tried to have this conversation recently, and I probably butchered the point I was trying to make, but it's about that team that we want to be. Like, I would quite like it if we were a team that brought through Hibs youngsters.
Real.
And probably that conveyor belt of talent that we've talked about before, but is fallen by the wayside. But I would like none of this, like punting in Malonikov out on loan. Like, he's played, that's him being in the Hibs midfield, or part of the Hibs strikers for the last 3-4 games. So keep him there. Like, let him learn. And also, why disrupt the way that we've been playing, with the exception of the Celtic games throughout the League Cup campaign?
We had that award-winning fucking under-19s team a couple of seasons ago, and like we've seen none because we seem to have this obsession with getting them away to Airdrie or Sedna City or whereabouts was Dennis Muir and all that. And
other premierships.
Another one. Aye, that just came out.
Aye.
But it's like, let's just go get it. Like,
see on that, right, is I think that would be like a happy accident. It would be something that came as a result of but that's mismanagement. Right? It would be something that would be fortunate because of mismanagement. It's not a deliberate thing. It's not something that's going 2 years ago, let's take a strategic decision if I've Bolotnikov and that coming through now. Because it's just no, and I can there'll be folk listening that will be like, this is like the fans getting softened up to just accept us no signing anybody. Like, oh, it's all right, we'll play. That's not what we're saying at all here. It's like if they come through, that's a good thing. It's like a happy accident of a shit situation. But I think we should accept that that's what they plan to do, and have that take the pressure off the folk running the club.
Yeah, no, I agree. But it should be one of these things that we say we're going to do is that we're going to get youth players in the first team because we've not fucking done it. They've talked about it and mentioned it, but that's just a sweetener. That's another shut the fuck up and move on question answer. That
was to justify the agenda transfer window. Mind, it was Lee Johnson. I'm not saying anybody. I've got to have a pathway for these boys, put them on the bench for the next game, and then fucking never saw them again.
Yeah,
they're just fucking liars at the club. Like that's what the conclusion I'll come at it is. They just show you something and then just go. We've said it. They'll forget about it by next week. It's like Ricky Gervais, but he's going to be the redundancies in the office, and the boys says, "But what about when it comes in this thing?" They won't remember. Fucking no, sorry, just tell them, and they'll not remember. Fans won't remember.
That's right. And when did we first play the Old Firm? Was it early on?
Celtic's the first home game.
So we were not selling them tickets, mind. We were only getting half a stand.
Aye.
I remember that. But will the fans remember? We'll see. See, anyway, that's a big rant, a big moan, load of negativity. I'm a wee bit negative at the moment about it because I think it just looks like we don't know what we're doing, and it's not just now. It's been an accumulation because of that. Some of that stuff you mentioned, there is other stuff. There is more short-term decisions. Move on, shut the fuck up. We've said this, we'll do that, we'll do, and it just gets confusing. Anyway, right, we've got the first league game next weekend. Yay! So it's in a week on Sunday.
3-0 Hibs, and everyone's good in the garden, by the way.
That's what'll happen.
Aye, of course it is.
Didn't he sing anybody? What do you mean? Benny scored in his strikers. But so it's in away. It's Sunday afternoon. Is it on TV? Or is it just because of the European game that they're...
Good question. It's sold out, yeah, but like for all the criticism folk had about Hibs fans not turning up for the game on Saturday, we've sold out the end for St Mirren next week. I think if it's telly.
Just checking. I don't know if it goes that far ahead. Because English TV started it, so I'm thinking it might be on in the Super Sunday slots. You know, because English football's not on, they'll use their 2 and 4 o'clock kickoff time or 4:30 or whatever it is. What? I don't know. I'm just wondering.
We were a 3 o'clock kickoff, aren't we, on the Sunday? So I reckon it's on the telly, but
I don't think it is. Looks like it's Dundee United, Dundee, Celtic, Kilmarnock.
1:30 and 3:30. 4:30 with the Sky games in. That's so we're not on TV. So it's just purely because they play Thursday night. Oh, Dundee United, Dundee, first game of the season.
It'd be decent one, I'll watch it.
No, we'll see. She's got a game. What are you thinking then? Based on what you've seen, obviously you've not seen much of St Mirren because they've only had one game this season. Like I was saying,
you want to go first, John?
Aye, you want Hibs to win. I'm not bothered about score, whether it's... in fact, no, I am bothered about score because I've had my 5-0 this season, I've had my 4-0, so I'll take a 3-0, a 2-0, or fuck it, even a 1-0. However, if you were being pragmatic and taking into account what people are saying about the state of the squad and like the players that we need to strengthen it, based on our respective finishes last season, would a draw be a bad result? You wouldn't want it, but would you take a draw away from home, first game of the season?
Yeah.
And other than a defeat, it's decent, but you got to win. Like, you always want to lay down a marker. St Mirren obviously got a European spot this season. For this season, because of the performances last season. We played them at the start. We won one of the 3 games that Lee Johnson lost. It would be good to put like a wee marker down for our season there to go there and do to them what they did to us last year, and maybe just get us off a wee bit positive start. That's what I'm looking for, just to put a marker down.
Be good to start really positively. I would be alright with a draw. Definitely didn't want to get beat. But I mean, I'd say that for every game throughout the season.
I agree with you though. I think a draw away a team technically seeded higher than us in the league would be a decent result to start with. Although if they're in the middle of European games,
they might have that. They might have that Thursday Sunday hangover that we suffered from last year.
So that's the positive there, yeah, because they'll be playing Thursday night. I think they drew last week.
So,
so there's a good chance they'll be out. But if they're in, then they'll have another game on Thursday to be getting ready for. So hopefully they get through, and then they're more concerned about whoever they've got on Thursday following the game.
Got an exciting new brand of football as well for David Gray, so that'll catch them by surprise.
Get the ball forward.
I have, by and large, enjoyed watching the football under David Gray. Even the frustrating game in Kelty, there were some good moments in it. And the second half yesterday was good. The whole game against Queen's Park, I thought we were excellent. So, I don't know, for that side, funnily enough, I'm quite positive about it. I like what I've seen for Gray so far.
I've told myself that 3-0 Hibs.
3-0.
2-0. Josh Campbell, 2 goals.
Good.
You calling?
I've not seen any pre-season Addy with the style of plays like or anything. So I'll say 1-0 Hibs, clean sheet, because I think we're going to have loads of clean sheets this season. I think I'd take loads of 1-0s this season, and I wouldn't be complaining about any style of football if we won loads of games 1-0. Keep that on record for later.
I've just favourited this episode.
how you qualify them having no seen us yet, as if it's any less scientific than the way that we normally just pluck a fucking scoreline out here. So that is every time I think for the night.
I think that's, I think the extra time we're going to do our season predictions. So we'll maybe put a tweet out asking for daft topics. But we'll do the usual: young player of the year, top goal scorer, league position, cup positions. Although I think what League Cup ball probably will be right this year.
Aye.
But maybe we had like last year with like longest slide tackle, daft refereeing decision. I knew would be first against. Maybe any new ones for that. So if anybody's got any ideas, tweet us some. We should probably say congratulations to Liam as well.
Aye, well done, Liam.
For down the slope for getting married. I say congratulations the right word? I don't know. Well, you've done it.
It is the immediate aftermath. It is, but revisit that in 10 years.
All the best. Good luck. Fucking hell. Right. Thanks to wee spirits, and that's us for this week. I'll see you next week. Cheers. Bye.
Well, they trailed me down when I broke free. I drank all the whiskey in Tennessee. I don't drink what I know.